ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम श्री भवानी शंकराय नमः. ओम श्री मात्रे नमः. जय शंकर. आज ही 10 फेब्रुवारी म्हळ्यार शिरालींतू वर्धंती उत्सवाच दिवस म्हणून आम सगळ्यांक गोत्तसाची. तरी ह्या शुभ अवसरारी आयोजित केलेल्या ह्या संपर्कांतू सर्व साधकांगले हांव सहर्ष स्वागत करता. सर्वप्रथम हांव डॉक्टर चैतन्य गुलवाडी मामाक विनंती करता की तान्ने सभा प्रारंभ प्रार्थना म्हणून ह्या कार्यक्रमाक सुरुवात कर.
ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री भवानी शंकराय नमः. ओम श्री मात्रे नमः. दक्षिणास्य समारंभा शंकराचार्य मध्यमा अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंता स्मर्या गुरुपरंपरा. श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरलोकशंकरं. शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. परिज्ञानाश्रम श्री गुरुशंकर परिज्ञानाश्रम शंकर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्ण पांडुरंग आनंद परिज्ञान गुरु सद्योजात शंकर सद्गुरु. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. प्रणाम स्वामीजी. आता हम स्थायी कमिटी अध्यक्ष स्टँडिंग कमिटीज प्रेसिडेंट म्हणारी प्रवीण कडले मामाक विनंती करता तागेले स्वागत पर भाषण कोरता. प्रवीण माम.
ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम श्री भवानी शंकराय नमः. ओम श्री मात्रे नमः. प्रणाम स्वामीजी. तुमगल पवित्र चरणा वंदन करनू हांवें आनी चैतन्य मामान सांगिल प्रमाणे एक सांजशे स्वागत पर भाषण करता. आयचो हो संपर्क 6वो कार्यक्रम. 2 वर्सां मागशी कोणाक कळचे पयलें रिएक्शन म्हणटा ती ते करचे पयलेंचे एक कोविड पॅन्डेमीक म्हणून आयलें. ताजे कोणाक कल्पना नाशिल्ली की कितले दिवस आसतलो म्हणून. तातूंत एक फर्स्ट फेज जाली, दुसरी फेज जाली और वेव जाली, तातूंत थर्ड वेवय जाली. आनी ह्या 2 वर्सांतू आमगे स्वाम्यांक म्हळ्यार म्हाका एक लास्ट 14 वर्सांतू स्वाम्यांगल एक सहवास मेळचे एक मात्र म्हाका एक भाग्य मेळ्ळ्या. त्या 14 वर्सांत हांव पळयलें की स्वाम्यांक लोक येवन मेळटाले, स्वामीजी खंय खंय वताले. मागीर आमगेल हांगा महत्वाचे जे म्हणटा ती रिलिजियस फंक्शन जाताले. मागीर चातुर्मास जालो, मागीर ताजे नंतर नवरात्री, कोजागिरी, मागीर दत्त जयंती, मागीर रथोत्सव, त्या शिवाय 1 मार्च, 15 जून आनी षष्टीक स्वामीजी मध्यंतू विठ्ठला वताले. आनी ह्या सगळ्या हातूंत स्वामीजींक एक नमुन्याचे सगळे एकदम बरो संपर्क म्हण जातालो. वॉट वी कॉल इट एज अ फिजिकल संपर्क. आनी तो संपर्क एक ह्या कोविड पॅन्डेमिका ती एक बंद जालो जाल्यार आमगेल फॉर्च्युनेटली टेक्नॉलॉजी इतलो डेव्हलप जाल्या की आता ते व्हर्च्युअल आमी संपर्क सुरू केले. आनी आज 6th संपर्क सुरू जाता आज जातलो. आनी 2 वर्सांतू 6 संपर्क म्हळ्यार एक दृश्टीने ऑलमोस्ट एवरी क्वार्टर वी हॅव बीन हॅव्हिंग दिस संपर्क. बट आता हे व्हर्च्युअल संपर्काचे दिवस आमकां दिसता की खर्चोवचे आयल्या. तिका मागीर एक आमी सायुज्यम कार्यक्रमाचे एक आयोजन केलेले starting from 21st February of 2022, which will start in the next 10 days, going up to 1st March 2022. 1st March आज सगळ्यांक तुमकां महत्व गोत आसा. आनी ताज नंतर going up to 15th of June, मागीर ज्या दिवस परिज्ञानाश्रम स्वाम्यांगल 75th इयराचे बर्थ एनिवर्सरी आमी सेलिब्रेट करतली. हो जो 3-3.5 महिन्याचा जो कालावधी आसा तो सायुज्य म्हणून आम्ही डिक्लेअर केलेले आणि आम्ही होप करून बशिल्ली की एक हॉट प्रमाणात आमकां करू जातलें जर तितून जावचे पयले एक कोविडाचे थर्ड वेव आयले बट फॉर्च्युनेटली द थर्ड वेव वॉज नॉट सो स्ट्रॉंग आणि आता एक सान प्रमाणात तरी or maybe hot प्रमाणात to depends upon all of you. I think the government is lifting all the restrictions and तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी येवंका कार्लान तूं खंय आतां स्वामीजी आसा ती तांगेल वास्तव्य आसा थंय 21 फेब्रुवारी म्हणजे हांव म्हणलेले वरी 10 दिवसां तूं आणि गोईंग अप टू 1 मार्च हे फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम आमी करता आसा ती त्या नंतर ऑफकोर्स 15 जूनय प्रोग्राम आसतलो कार्लांतूच आसतलो आणि स्वामीजी तुमकां अनुभूती असल्यार हांव चातुर्मासाचे सांगेत आताची
जायत
चातुर्मास ह्या वेळेक स्वाम्यांनी आमकां परमिशन दिली की तुम्ही कार्ल करू हरकत ना म्हणून सो ह्या वेळेक चातुर्मास 2022 जो चातुर्मास आसा तो कार्ल जातलो नवरात्री कोजागिरी खंय जातली ते अजुनी ठरयनी जाल्यार अपेक्षा धन आसा ती की स्वाम्यांगल आमकां अनुमती मेळटली की नवरात्री आणि कोजागिरी सुद्धा हांगा कार्ल करेत म्हणून तरी हांव ह्या संपर्का बाबतींत सांगता आशिल्लो की तुमकां सगळ्यांक एक फिजिकल संपर्क आता एक 10 दिवसानंतर करू मेळटलो तुम्ही यू शूड कम इन बिग नंबर्स वेदर यू आर फ्रॉम इंडिया और फ्रॉम आउटसाइड ऑफ इंडिया प्लीज येयात आणि ताचे खातीर चैतन्य गुलवाडी मामाल डॉक्टर मामागल अध्यक्ष ते खाली तगू एक मेरिट बी एज अ कमिटी एक फॉर्म जालेली तर त्यांनी प्रोग्राम केलेलो आसा तुमकां सगळे सभांक पेटयल्या 10 दिवसा कार्यक्रम आसा 21 तारखे दोन हांव सगळे वाचू वचना जाल्यार तातूंत थोडे ऑनलायन इव्हेंट्स आसा ती आणि थोडे ऑन द ग्राउंड इव्हेंट्स आसा ती तातूंत ते ऑन द ग्राउंड इव्हेंट्स जी आसा ती तिवय टेलिव्हिजन आय मीन हाजी इंटरनेटा थ्रू सगळ्यांक तुमकां पळोवचें मेळटलें लायव्ह पळोवचें मेळटलें आणि कार्यक्रम अगदी मस्त वॉट वी कॉल इट एज अ वेल थॉट आउट प्लॅन स्वामीजींनी सगळे मस्त विचार करून स्वामीजीन सुद्धा ताका अनुमती दिल्या हे कार्यक्रम करूक तुमगेल सभेन तूं सगळे प्रेसिडेंट आणि कमिटी मेंबर्सां पेटयलेले आसा ती तावळी तुम्ही ताजे डिटेल्स सगळे घेयात हे सगळे कार्यक्रम म्हळ्यार एकदम सान्न स्क्रीनार तुमकां पळोवचें जायच ना बट यू कॅन गेट दी एक्चुअल डेटा और डिटेल्स फ्रॉम युअर सभा प्रेसिडेंट और सेक्रेटरी और द ट्रेजरर आणि तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी येवंका म्हणून विनंती आसा जो व्हर्च्युअल संपर्क आशिल्लो तो फिजिकल संपर्कांत अगदी व्यवस्थितपणे जावंका अशी आमकां सगळ्यांक एक अपेक्षा आसा आश आसा स्वाम्यांक तर आसाची तुम्ही यू कम इन लार्ज नंबर्स अजय शिराली मामाने जो आमगेल कार्लाचे सगळे पळयता ताणे सगळे राबची व्यवस्था केल्या तुम्ही बेगीन ताका कळया ती रजिस्ट्रेशना खातीर आणि अँड ही विल लेट यू नो दी एक्झॅक्ट अरेंजमेंट्स विच विल बी मेड सो जरूर येया ती आता तुमकां गोत 21 फेब्रुवारीचे महत्व ह्या 21 फेब्रुवारीक स्वामीजींगले जे एक आमगेल मठाधिपती जालो ताजो रजत महोत्सव आमगेलो सूर जातलो म्हणून हरकत ना 25 वर्स जातली 21 फेब्रुवारीक तिथी प्रमाणे तरी एक आमगे सगळ्यांगल एक भाविकांगली एक इच्छा आशिल्ली की एक कसले तरी एक सोविनियर बट सोविनियर म्हणेल पेक्षा ताका एक धार्मिक महत्व आसा तुमगेल डेली जे तुम्ही आराधना करता ती तुम्ही जे अनुष्ठान करता ती ताजे निमित्तान सुद्धा ताका एक महत्व आसा म्हणून एक स्वाम्यांगल अप्रुवल घेवन एक 3-4 महिन्या मागशीच तो आमगेल प्रिपरेशन सुरू जालें ते एक पेंडंट आणि कॅलेंडर म्हणून आमी अशें एक करचे म्हणून एक प्लॅन केलेलो स्वाम्यांगल अप्रुवल जाल्या नंतर ते गोमटे पद्दतीने जाल्या आणि तुमकां दाखयता एक मोहित मामाक हांव रिक्वेस्ट करता की इफ यू कॅन शो दीस पेंडंट्स ऑन द स्क्रीन हा सो 2 दिकान ते आसतले एक परिज्ञानाश्रम स्वाम्यांगले एक दिकाने आणि दुसरे दिकाने आमकां सद्योजात शंकराश्रम स्वामीजींगले हे गोल्डन हे सगळे जे कारागिरी केलेले आसा ते गोल्डान केलेले आसा आता आमी करतना सगळे लेटेस्ट गोल्डाचे रेट घेवन केल्या त्या शिवाय जे कारागिरी चार्जीस असतात ती त्या सगळे कन केल्या हे लॉकेट सॉरी हे पेंडंट्स आमी 15,000 रुपयाक म्हणून वीकची म्हणून एक कार्यक्रम केलो, ताची अनाउन्समेंट केली एक 3-4 दिवसां मागशीच केली. आणि म्हाका जी एक दनपार जी इन्फॉर्मेशन मेळ्ळी त्या प्रमाणे ऑलरेडी 103 पेंडंट्साचे बुकींग जाल्या आणि पेमेंट्स येवच्या लागल्या, ती आयल्या ती मस्त. म्हाका तुमकां एक रिक्वेस्ट करची आसा की हे गोल्डाचे जे रेट्स असता ती हे तग उंच जाता आसता ती. आणि तुमकां एक रिक्वेस्ट आसा की तुमी हे आमी ओरिजिनली एक 5 करचे म्हण लेखलें, जो ऑलरेडी एक 3 दिवसान 4 दिवसान तूं अनाउन्स केला तशीच 103 की 105 बुकींग ऑलरेडी जाल्या ती. आणि विथ दिस कायंड ऑफ booking enthusiasm, we may kind of close the sale of these 500 pendants at the earliest. तुमकां एक आमी रिक्वेस्ट आसा की परत रिक्वेस्ट आयल्यार आमकां परत जरी मॅन्युफॅक्चर करपा लागल्यार परत गोल्डाचे रेट्स तो गुंच वता आशिल्ली ती तुमी तुमगेल बुकींग कितले बेगी करता तितले करा ती. आणि आमी सप्लाय करचे विंगड सभे थ्रू सगळे अरेंजमेंट केलेले आसा. त्यामुळे ती तुमकां आणि डिटेल्स जाय जाल्यार ऑलरेडी तुमगेल सभेचे तुमगेल जे प्रेसिडेंट सेक्रेटरी आसा ती तांत लागता तुमकां सगळे डिटेल्स मेळटले. आतां एक कॅलेंडर म्हणून केल्या. ते कॅलेंडर म्हळ्यार अशें 12 म्हयन्या कॅलेंडर म्हण न्हय, ते दिनचर्या तुमगेल जी आसता ताचे खातीर तुमकां सकाळी उठायना पडे. एक आमगेल जे गुरु परंपरे प्रमाणे जे आमगेल विंगड स्वामीजींनी विंगड थॉट्स सांगिल्ले ते 31 डेजाचे थॉट्स तुमकां यू कॅन रीड इट, यू कॅन यूज इट एज युअर दॅट डेज प्रोग्राम. तातूंत एक तुमकां एक मेसेजूय मेळटलो. एक नमुन्याचे स्वामीजी विंगड आमगेल जे स्वामीजींनी सगळे जे एक गुरुपदेश म्हणून केलेलो तांत तुमकां एक मेसेज मेळ्ळू. तुमी त्या दिवसाक तुमी फॉलो करेद. दिस इज 31 pages. So he is now, I'll request him to quickly go through. This is page number 5, page number 6, page number 7, 8, like that. आणि ह्या प्रत्येकाने घेवेद हाजे पॅकिंग बिकिंग सगळे व्यवस्थित केले, डिस्पॅच हे ते सगळे व्यवस्थित केलेले आसा. सो प्लीज डू द बुकींग एट द अर्लिएस्ट. आता 21 तारखे दोन 1 तारखेचे हांव तुमकां सांगलें की ताचे खातीर तुमकां सेवा आणि बुक करता जाल्यार ताजे एक आज फायनल आहे तेव्हा एक कम्युनिकेट जातलें की कलकल सेवा आसा ती. सो तुमी एक हांव एक अगेन आय विल टेक यू थ्रू व्हेरी क्विकली. आय डोंट नीड टू गो थ्रू द डिटेल्स. जाल्यार कॅन यू मोहित मॅम, इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर यू टू डिस्प्ले दॅट? वेळ वत असल्यार नाका मोहित मॅम.
बुकिंग कस करतात?
सेवा बुकिंग आणि कलकल रेट्स आसा ती त्या सगळे आसा ताजे इन्फॉर्मेशन तुमकां प्रत्येक सभेंतान मेळटले. आमगेल वेबसायटार आसतले. या दिस इज वॉट इट इज. एक सगळे महापोषक धोनू तुमी सामूहिक गान भोजन सेवा तेवय करेद. सो सॉरी सामूहिक गणहोम सेवाय करेद. ताजे सगळ्याचे रेट्स आणि सगळे दिलेले आसा ती. आणि तुम्ही खंय बुकिंग करेद कशी करेद सगळे डिटेल्स दिलेले आसा ती. सो प्लीज डू युअर बुकिंग्स एट द अर्लिएस्ट. वी हॅव हार्डली 10 days लेफ्ट. हे 21 तारखेचे 1 तारखेचे कार्यक्रम आसा. हांव ते डिटेल्स वचना कारण मस्त वेळ वतलो. बट दीज ऑल्सो विल बी अवेलेबल ऑन द वेबसाईट as well as you can collect the copies from your local sabhas. So that's something which I wanted to talk. And more importantly, now I'll request Swamiji ki तुमगेल संपर्क सच्या आयचे जे आशीर्वचन आसा ते आमकां करून आमकां एक पावित्र मेळचे आमकां संधी दिया ती. आणि आय विथ प्रणाम स्वामीजी.
महादेव शंभो. आनंदाश्रम शिष्याग्र्यं स्वानंदाम्बुधिमज्जितम् आनंदाश्रमिणं वन्दे परिज्ञानाश्रमं गुरुं. ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री भवानी शंकराय नमः. श्रीमात्रे नमः. अत्यंत पवित्र दिवस हो, एक विलक्षण दिवस हो. ह्या दिवसाक ह्या तिथीक आमी प्रायः शिरालिंतूंचे आसताती जाल्यार ह्या पंता आमी कारलांत आसताती हांगा अनुष्ठान जाल्लें थंय कसलें हवन इत्यादी कार्य आशिल्लें बरे रितीर संपन्न जाल्लें आमकां माहिती मेळ्ळी यजमान सुद्दां उपस्थित आशिल्लीं ह्या दिवसाचे महिमा 14th वर्धंती गुरु पादुका प्रतिष्ठित जाल्ल्या शिरालिंतून प्रसंग तो आशिल्लो आमी भुवनेश्वरी वर्धंती म्हणून नॉमेनक्लेचर म्हणून येता तशी ह्या प्रसिद्धी जाल्ल्या कलमेरी गुरू आपणाल प्रसिद्धी करून घेना आनी स्वाम्यांक गेले तर जिवनांतू आमी पळयल्यांची त्या वेळार एक अशी परिस्थिती आशिल्ली मठ रेनोवेशन जातना की स्वाम्यांक गेले पादुका थंय येवंकाती विधिवत येवंकाती आनी शरीर वेदना सुद्दां म्हळ्यार एक तप करून हाडका तशी ती गुरुज्योत यात्रा जालेली तातूंत आमकां मस्त सांगचें ना कोण भाग घेतला धन्य आसा ती आजुनूय ताचे व्हिडिओज इत्यादी उपलब्ध आसा ती सो इट वॉज एन एक्स्ट्रॉर्डिनरी इवेंट and when it was being planned with complete humility with a sense of gratitude for having been accepted a sense of repentance also for whatever was perpetrated the mistakes the Samaj had made and with a sense of joy that we are not bereft of the Guru Anugraha. This Guru Jyot Yatra was a fantastic thing that was performed, like I would like to use the word, as elaborately, as meticulously planned, like a very elaborate puja. But we had people walking 100 kilometers in 3 days, Sharira Vedana. Now, simply getting the Guru Paduka was not sufficient. It was some sort of an upheaval, a very positive upheaval. स्वाम्यांगेल पादुका परत मठांत येता ती विधिवत म्हळ्यार एक तांचे सगळे दिव्य शक्ती जागृत जालेल्यो and I think that is when Devi Bhuvaneshwari also had to be consecrated there. This is how I would like you all to see this. The Aradhya Devata for Math is Lord Bhavani Shankar. So when you bow down, नंदीक नमस्कार करून आमी भवानी शंकर देवाल दर्शन करतात नमस्कार करतात देवी थंय आसची वामांक शिव वामांक निलया जावन देवी आस बट स्वाम्यांक गेल परत पादुका आयली श्री चित्रापूर मठ शिरालिंत मेरी आनंदाश्रम स्वाम्यांगेर सन्निधी पांडुरंग आश्रम स्वाम्यांगेर सन्निधी आनी स्वाम्यांगेर पादुका आयल मेरी थंय एक उज्रुंभण जालें त्या शक्तीन प्रसन्नता सो थंयची एक सौम्य रूप धारण करून शिव वामांक निलया जावन मात्र बसचें ना आपणें भायर येता म्हणची शक्ती भायर आयली तिची भुवनेश्वरी रूपेण भायर आयली आमी नूतन खंयचे विंगड देवीली प्रतिश्ठा करनी you'll understand that in the big temples in South India, be it even a Devi temple, whatever the main vigraha, there is always a small shrine dedicated to Devi Bhuvaneshwari, because Bhuvaneshwari is one of the best representations of Shakti. Chaturbhuja, Varabhiti, Pashankusha Dharini Zaunasti. एक रूप प्रकट करून देवी कसलें शक्ती कसलें तें मातृत्व तें वात्सल्य सहज आमगेली भक्ती तिकल चरणी अर्पण जावंक तशी एक रूप भुवनेश्वरी शास्त्रान सुद्दां देवी गीतेन सुद्दां हिमवानाने देवी तूं कोण म्हण म्हणा पळय ती भुवनेश्वरी रूपेण प्रकट जावन तिणें ज्ञान दिलें आपणान स्वरूप दाखयलें तीच देवी मागीर दुर्गे रूपेण येता काळील रूपेण येता दशमा येता सो एक a purest form of an expression of the mother, Rupantu, where the pujas can be conducted, where the mantras can be recited in her singing to her glory. That is Bhuvaneshwari. So naturally, Bhavani Attali, Bhuvaneshwari is on. So तशी भुवनेश्वरी प्रतिष्ठा झाली आणि भुवनेश्वरी थंय आयल्या म्हळ्यार गणपती सुद्दां आपणाला वचून बग लेखचे आता म्हूण थंय वचून बसला. भुवनानां ईश्वरी आमी केन्नाय सांगता ती भुवनेश्वरी आराधन केल्यार ईश्वरत्व प्रदान करता ती आपणा क्षेत्रांत तूं whatever your discipline, whatever your profession or your kala, she gives you the adhikara there, ek ishwaratva bhav, a command, a competence, certain skills. तिगल आराधनेन ते मेळटा. भुवनेश्वरी जावन ती आयली म्हळ्यारी एक लक्षण तिने दाखयलें आपणाल एक सौंदर्य असं तिगल साम्राज्य तें मठ म्हळ्यारी वात्सल्य असं लक्षणवती जावन आयली. लक्ष्मी सदृश जावन थंय विराजमती असती. लक्ष्म आशिल्ली लक्ष्मी. Just last year, a few months ago, I had an occasion to discuss a few things with the artisan who prepared this vigraha in 2007-8. Even after so many years, after 13 years, I had asked him a few questions on Bhuvaneshwari, and it triggered off whatever he had experienced when he had completed the vigraha. The memory is very strong. I could see him getting horripilations as he was narrating just a few months ago. You see, the vigraha was completed in Udupi, in his house. Some 3 rooms or 4 rooms, small place. It had been packed very safely. It's a very, very heavy vigraha, and it was to be brought to Mallapur, where I was doing my chaturmas. That night, on the eve of his departure to Mallapur, he was woken up at night and he sensed there was something going on in the adjacent room where the vigraha had been kept. He could see a light through the gap in the doors, but he was feeling so drugged, he couldn't get up. And around 3 o'clock again he was woken up, and there were sounds coming from that room. He was narrating it. So he got up, he tottered on, he went to the door, and he could just make out there was some entity there was some movement happening, because he could see the play of shadows on the ground, on the floor, because of the light that was streaming from under the door from the other room in which the vigraha had been kept. He was not able to open the door, but he could sense the presence there. He said there was a figure in white, a long beard, that's all. And then he doesn't remember. He went to sleep again, he got up. We naturally carried out our prashna checks and Kochesati Devi Sharma. It was extraordinary. The local devatas had come, and when he did open the door in the morning, he found all the vastra avarana that had been done. It had been securely packed. Everything had been removed, very nicely kept there, and Devi was just there, the vigraha. Lakshanashil hai vigraha mantati. This was before the Shuddhikaran, this was before the Pratishtha. It was still there. It was just a vigraha that had been manufactured, or whatever you can say. An artist had created it. Still, it possessed something extraordinary, because it was a Shiva Sankalpa. Then it was brought to me, and then subsequently the Pratishtha was done. This is the Bhuvaneshwari Vigraha. This is the presence that we revere, we invite in our hearts on this day. But for me, again, it is just an expression of the Guru's Anugraha. It was because we demanded as a Samaj that Swamyangal Paduka represents the Guru, the entire Prarambha. I don't want to go into the background वाय स्वाम्यांक परत इन्व्हाइट करतल्या करका पडलेलं आहे. बट वी डिड दॅट. वी वर ब्लेस्ड टू बी गिवन अन ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी टू डू दॅट. अँड दॅट परत येमचें पादुका, इट डिडंट जस्ट come, it made a statement. So we have Bhuvaneshwari also guiding us now, removing all the vignas on our spiritual path. This Bhuvaneshwari, Bhuvananam Ishwari is what we worship. She is a manifestation of the Guru's grace, come again to give us that lakshana, that auspiciousness, that splendor, that vaibhava in life. So I just wanted to take you through one of my shlokas on this particular aspect of the mother. Hriಂ 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 hridyaika vidye shashiruchi kamala kalpa vispashta shobhe bhavye bhavanukule kumati vanamahe vishwavandyaangri padme padme padmopavishte प्रणतजनमनो मोदसम्पादयित्री प्रोत्प्लुष्टा ज्ञानकूटे हरिनिजदयिते देवी संसारसारे. Bhuvaneshwari, the moment you think of it, Bhuvananam Ishwari, she who manifests the Bhuvanas, whatever we perceive. In the Shastras, ते ध्यान योगानुगता अपश्यन् देवात्मशक्तिं स्वगुणैः निगूढा. The rishis had their own theories about creation, about the self. And they had not arguments but discussions. And somewhere they realized their discussion alone was not leading to a direct perception of the truth. And in that situation, they took resort to dhyana yoganugata. They practice in the deepest of their meditations. They perceived Devatma Shaktim Swagunay Nigudha. They perceived the truth, and that truth which was covered, Nigudham, which was enveloped or protected or concealed by its own gunas. So that Shakti, which was Shiva Shakti, Nirgunzaunasa, but the Trigunas with which she manifests, her real Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa is hidden. And they perceive that truth. And that truth can only be seen as Shiva and in Shivoham. That is where we enter into the realms of Vedanta. But at the Upasana level has been brought out very well as that truth which is hidden by its own Maya. Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayam etam tarantite. A very stern cautioning is given to the sadhakas. Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya by Lord Narayana in the Bhagavad Gita. Sakshat Narayan sang this. Don't think that you can overcome this or gain self-realization through merely self-effort. Daivi Hesham Gunamai Trigunatmika Daivi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya, very difficult crossover. Mameva ye prapadyante, only those who surrender to me, Mayam etam tarantite, will be released from the clutches of this Maya. That is how we see it, the Maya, the Mayavi. But when we worship Bhuvaneshwari, you have to understand the oneness of Bhuvaneshwari with the Shiva Tattva, that we worship her as the Mayavi also. She who can come in any form, she can come in the most benevolent form. We can appeal to her for our daily needs. Amka Ishwarya zai, amka dhairya zai, amka bala zai, amka saranakka, tu matra zai manja sunike dhairya ye nahi. So when we surrender, what do we ask for? We ask for goodness in life. We ask for strength, we ask for peace, better jobs, whatever. That's the prayer that comes from the heart. And this is something that can be offered. It is acceptable to the mother because she is Bhuvaneshwari. She deals in the gunas, though she is beyond the gunas. That is the beauty. But since we realize, we accept grace, she is the anugraha of the Guru Paduka, the manifestation. When we reiterated, we re-invited the Guru. We begged of him to accept us as belonging to him. She manifested as Bhuvaneshwari, the same Bhavani. Now she has come with renewed effulgence. Renewed in the sense, with renewed joy, at least. Won't the mother feel happy when the child comes back to her? तशी एक कल की हर्ट करता है समय आराम से पड़े ना पड़े अस्तित्व. So invoke this like that. ऐश्वर्य दत्ता सामर्थ्य दत्ता लक्षण जामनशीली प्रतिष्ठे पैल हो विग्रह करता नातिगल आपणाले लक्षण कसलस म्हणून दाखवून दिल्या विलक्षण. See, after anushtans, yes, there have been so many indications that an anushthan has happened well. We have gone through that. Not just me, even my retinue members have witnessed. But a vigraha, just being, even before consecration, demanding that the Avaran Devatas or the Devatas of that place come and acknowledge its presence is something extraordinary. That now which has been consecrated on this auspicious day 14 years ago is the Bhuvaneshwari aspect that I am talking about. And this particular shloka I have chosen is because it starts with her Bijakshara, Hreem Mantati. Hreem is Hirlekha, the streak from the heart, your most intense desire, your most hidden desire. We refine our desires. Finally, it is a desire for liberation that is fulfilled. But right now, depending on your age, your necessities, etc., I need a job, I need security, whatever, I need this, I need that. That itself gets purified, and when communicated correctly to the mother, gets fulfilled also. So that Hrinkar, Hrilekha, is whom we worship in Bhuvaneshwari. She refines our desires. And she accepts our desires also, like a mother can. And she's not an overly indulgent mother, but she is a capable mother. She can guide us, help us grow. So Tashi, Hreem, 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 Hridyaika Vedya. She who is known in the Hridaya. You do the mantra, it's this, Hrinkar is the place where the Bijakshara emanates from in the physical context. Hridi, Hridayantu, Hrinkara, Hrilekha, Hridayanthanya talti shakti, Hridayanthanya talte, dil ki pukar mantatni, straight from your heart. Not a calculated desire, so to say. I have been told it is good, so let me have it, or something like that. No, something you know you need and you can pray for, and you pray for. Hreem. Hreem purifies that, strengthens that, leads to the final culmination of all desires, where all desires fade away because you got her entire grace. Hridyaika Vedya, she who is known only in the heart. With that bhakti, with the element of bhakti, not just tapas, not just intellectual acumen, but who is sensed, who is perceived, whose sannidhi is experienced in the heart. Hridyaika Vedya, Shashi Ruchi Kamala Vispashta Shobhi, Shashi Chandra. Shashi Ruchi, that effulgence of the moon, not the brightness, not the dazzling or painful light of the sun, but the very compassionate, cooling, healing rays of the moon. That color, Kamala Vispashta Shobhi. Imagine a lotus which radiates that effulgence of the moon. Tashitigal hai ek roop sa or effulgence sa dhyan kartana. These are very concrete ways of doing Anushtan. आम्ही पहिले सुमार वर्ष पहिले सांगितलं ध्यान करताना एकदम इष्ट देवता स्मरण करो को विजुअलाइज करो क्वांट इज अलियारी. Prepare yourself. Whatever you are accustomed to, you visited a temple you are very happy with, a shrine that you are very familiar with. So when you sit for your japa, you visualize that. You walk in, you're aware of the door that you cross, enter. If there are any parivar devatas, there's a Nandi there, you do the namaskar. There's a Simha there, you do the namaskar. Take permission, do the parikrama, come stand there, and then imagine that, visualize that. Yes, here I am looking at the main vigraha in the shrine, and let the arti etc. happen. Take the arti, and while you're doing that, start your japa. This leads the mind, which requires motivation, which requires a lot of material to think on, to be focused. And then the bijakshara that starts, the mantra that starts, gives a complete intensity to your japa. So we had brought it out in the form of dhyana praveshika. So the same thing, if you have the capacity to visualize, see those moonbeams streaming from her, either hand, anugraha or charana, or face when you visualize. Very cooling, very healing, extremely powerful. She is bhavya. It's not a dim light. She is bhavya, radiant, bhavye, bhavanukule. It's not an, what shall I say, a very mechanical sort of a light. It is something that responds to you. When you come, if you are weeping, you will find compassion there in her face. Bhavanukule. If you are happy, she is even happier. She rejoices at our happiness. Let that matratva shine when you meditate on her face. Bhavye bhavanukule. If you are dejected, let her compassionate eyes grant you the strength so you can surrender and realize the first mudra that she gives is the abhaya mudra. Bhavanukule. Kumati vanamahi. This is also he kumati vanamahi. These are all in Sambodhan. We are addressing her. Kumati, white mati. एक झंझाल है. That means there's a forest. All sorts of negative ideas cropping up. I'm feeling so dejected. She burns it away. She's the fire that burns away that. Vishwavandhyangri Padmi. And believe me, she is the most sought after. Even the most, so to say, materialistic intellect which says, I don't believe in God. What does a person want? He wants peace. He has ambition, so he wants the best. He wants to be the best. He wants more money. Whatever it is. She is the source of that. She is the source of our mundane fulfillment also, because she plays around. It's her gunas. But she is beyond the gunas also, and knowing that, we appeal to her. You can give us the Aishwarya that we need in life. You can give us the strength. But we don't want to be fooled by the three gunas. And never let me lose sight of the fact that you are beyond this. My position is also beyond this. Let me never get stuck in them. So as one progresses, as one matures in life, the radiance will naturally become more and more healing, and the joy in relating, it will be, I think, very more and more intense. So every Vardhanti that we go through, let us appreciate this. This is what is happening to us. We started off with something. Now so much has sort of, we have discarded or we have let go of that, giving us more maturity, strength, able to discern, understand her subtler aspects, subtler Aishwarya, which frankly we were not in a position to even imagine when we were muddled up in the lower levels. So this is the progress in your upasana of Bhuvaneshwari, the Shakti of Lord Bhavani Shankara, who has come so compassionately for us, because that is a tangible thing, something we can appeal to. Our Acharya Parampara has always invoked the Shri, as in Shri Vidya. And the discipline that is required for that is something most of us cannot manage. But very graciously, as here Durga Parameshwari we approach, because she is the Mangala Karini, Durgati Nashini. So also, as a goal, Bhuvaneshwari becomes the eminent Shakti with always the promise of spiritual illumination. She understands our need much better than we think we understand ourselves, and therefore she fulfills, as I said, a very competent, capable Matra Shakti. So Vishwavandhyangri Padme, everybody is actually appealing to her for more strength, more progress, more wealth, whatever. The Moodha doesn't realize that it is she who is the Shakti which can give this. He attributes everything to himself and then gets stuck in the three gunas. That's the only problem. We start off saying, I know I am not bound by the gunas. I know I am not bound by the sharira. I know I don't want to be held captive by the vagaries of my mind or my heart. Still I am. But I know definitely you are beyond this, mother. So I appeal to you as your son, demanding, it's my birthright to know that I am beyond the gunas. But as long as I am still confronted by them, lead me gracefully towards your feet. May my actions be ojasvi. May I be able to achieve something in life. May I be there for people, others also. Isn't that what our Samaj has been doing? I'm so proud of it. For such a small Samaj, tremendous work at all levels. So this is the Bhuvaneshwari Upasana that I see happening in the Samaj. I won't say unwittingly. The grace has always been on the Samaj, so we are just exercising it. Let us do it with a little more intelligence, a little more understanding, a little more deepening of this understanding. Vishwavandhyangri Padme, that is why she is that source of all energy, that source of all goodness, who's always being propitiated, knowingly, unknowingly. We do it knowingly and with a firm conviction that she will lead us to a spiritual fulfillment also. Never shall we be discarded or left halfway. We are happy with this and we say yes, will you be there? No. She will always prod us on to next step. There is more, till we realize Charana Sharanatikal. Padme, Padmopavishte. Now in this particular shloka, which starts off with saying Reem, 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 Reenkaran Jagrat Zatalti Shakti, Avurka Shishifta Zatasa, Padme, Padma Swarupini, like a lotus mantati. Padmopavishte, Padma Nilaya, Padma Upavishta, Baslyati, seated on a lotus, that Devi, Pranata Jana Mana Mano Moda Sampadayitri. Those who take refuge in her, pranam kartati, त्या श्लोकांगेल मानाक मोद संपादयित्री आमोद म्हणटाली खुशी प्रदान करताली एक भितरथान एक खुशी हृदयक वेद्याती सो भितरथान एक खुशी प्रदान करताली मनाक शांत करताली कळवळस दूर करताली ती भुवनेश्वरी तेगल मस्त गरज असो जीवनांत अशी परिस्थिती येता ती कोणाकय सोणा प्रारब्ध आसता एक पंत बरें एक पंत वायट कसली ना म्हळ्या तिका शरण आमी घेता ती त्या वेळारी ती एक मोद प्रदान करता which is alaukic, which is not brought about by any reassurances or acquisitions or whatever. So that tashi dittaliti tashi devi आमी तिका नमस्कार करता ती प्रोत्प्लुष्टा ज्ञानकूटे प्रकर्षण प्लुष्ट म्हणटा ती प्लुष्ट म्हळ्यार was burnt away अज्ञानकूट. This is the other kuta that is like kutastha म्हणटा ती the three gunas with which she manifests this world, and she's in it. She's the center, the Chaitanya, undiscovered by the ignorant, sensed by the upasakas, craved for by the bhaktas, realized as one's own self by the jnanis. Tashiti kutastha samnasa. We try, and we santat na vedantantu, I sharira, I am the shariri, I am not the sharira. Manastarari, pranastarari, ahankarastarari. So there it gets dangerous. Ahankar cannot be thrown away, discarded by the ahankar. At that stage, we begin to feel the need to surrender. So she is the one who is the Protplushta Jnanakuta. She who has burnt away the dross that is the identification with the gunas. Ajnanakutasa, enmeshed, surrounded, enveloped by the darkness of ignorance. She who burns away this ignorance, that Bhuvaneshwari we worship. Because it is all coming as a token or an acknowledgement by the Guru that he has sensed our deep desire to connect again, make no demands, not say, I made only this much of a mistake, but not that much. Whatever I had done is a mistake. I, as myself, am a mistake as an individual. You alone are. With that Sharanagati, whatever the Guru Jyoti Yatra was done, has given us this beautiful manifestation of Devi as Bhuvaneshwari. And she is the Protpushta Jnanakuta, who cannot stand to see the terror in the eyes of the child, the fear in the eyes of the child when he sees darkness or doesn't understand something. So she burns away that cause of fear. Hari Nija Daita, she who is very dear to Hari, Athanga Lakshmi Rupantatas, Hari Nija Daita, Devi Samsarasa. Please understand, Rupasta Vigrahasta. The subtler aspect is brought out by the Bija Mantra. So this Rinkara Bija, Rava Manatati, Virefa Rava, the Kitla Zata, Kitla, the more the Janusandhan Samcha Sur Zata, as Sagra Lakshan Manatati, Prasputit Zatati Jivanantu. Dichi Shakti, Vishnu Patni Zaunasa, Shiva Patni Zaunasa, Brahmali Ardhangini Zaunasa, एक रूपांत आयल्यारी ती सगळं सामर्थ्य आशिल शक्ती ती सगळं देव चांतू समर्थ जावन आशिल्ली अज्ञानकूट नष्ट करता ती शक्ती ब्रह्मविद्या स्वरूपिणी तशीची हरिनिज दयिता जावनय असं आमकां जिवनांत कसलें एक ऐश्वर्य जाय एक सुख शांती समृद्धी म्हण असं जाय आमगेले अधिकार आसा तें प्रदान करता ती देवी तशी देवी म्हणूची देवी संसार सारी संसारांतून निस्सार म्हणून आमी स्वीकार करता ती when you hanker or you are stuck. But there is a meaning also to our life. There is a purpose to our living. There has to be. Otherwise it will be so terrible. So that purpose she defines, she fulfills that purpose. Devi samsara sare saunasa. She gives the abundance that is required to make life meaningful, to give us that sense of achievement, to help us feel our belongingness to her. And then she dispels of all the other confusion that can trouble us, ultimately burning away the ajnana koot, the koot that surrounds us. There's a person standing there, fine, he's just standing there. Two of them talking, no issue. Three of them get together and they are talking and they looking around to ensure nobody else can overhear them. Koot is allowed. There are three people, but something is happening in there, generally mischief. But here it is, she is the Kutastha, and the Kuta is comprising of the three gunas, where we get enmeshed in. We go to right up to Sattva-guna and then we fall back into Tamo-guna. This rise and fall in the realm of the gunas is disgusting, tiring, and we want not to be established anywhere because it's a play of the gunas. We want to go to that which is beyond gunas, and she is there in the center. And we realize it is this Shakti, this Mayavini, this Bhuvaneshwari, whose bija Rinkar, called the Maya Bija, is bringing about this Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, can grant us whatever fulfillment we seek, we understand, as per our kartavya, as in the observation of our duties or responsibilities, much more achievement, sense of achievement. So as long as we offer it to her, accept it as her prasada. She is the one who is the Harinijataita, Lakshmi. She is the one who will dispel the andhakar, the ajnana that bewilders us, keeps us from a Shiva Swarupa, keeps us tied to this anadi, jiva bhava. This is what we have invoked on this day. Effortlessly we have got this. Otherwise it was just the Guru Paduka that should come to Shirali. And we realized what a disastrous mistake we made by saying we don't need Swamin. So collectively we brought the Padukas, and of course it says grace alone that Yatra came off so well. It says grace alone that He's always there. It's not that we could have ever, but He manifested, He accepted it graciously and gave us this vara or boon of Bhuvaneshwari, where the Lakshana now comes forth in a more emphatic manner. The way the sadhanas are going on, way the activities are going on in the Samaj, I can use that word, in a more refined manner. Bhuvaneshwari land. She is very close to Shri Vidya, Bhuvaneshwari. She is a Mahavidya in her own rights, but the subtlest, with the capacity of appealing to, guiding even the dullest of intellects. So, तशी ती भुवनेश्वरी आमगे जीवनांतू एक अनुग्रह करो म्हणून मी आजी मस्त प्रार्थन करून तुमगे सगळ्यांगेले लायकाने गुरुचरणी अर्पण करता ती. आमकां विश्वास आसा जिवनांतू साधकांगेर जिवनांत जातस, समाजांतूय जातस. सन्न प्रमाणार, व्हड प्रमाणार केल्ले एक कार्यक्रम ह्या कोविड सिच्युएशनान सुद्दां आमी पळयल्या. एक धैर्य आमगेर वाडल्या. मठाचे गुरु परंपरेचो संबंध आनी दृढ जातस लोकांगेर हृदयांतू. ताज्यान हिगले ते एक कसला ईश्वर्याचें लक्षण आसा जिवनांतू एक मंगलता रुपेण प्रकट जातस आनी उत्तरोत्तर जावो. कसले एक सामर्थ्य वाडका, कसले एक ऐश्वर्य जावंका, कसले एक बरेपण जावंका प्रत्येक साधकाक प्राप्त जावो म्हणून आमी गुरुचरणी प्रार्थना करतात. कल्याक मायरी तिगल जावन आमी करता आसा ती. भवानी शंकर देवा चरणांतू नमस्कार करून, गुरुंगेर चरणांत नमस्कार करून आमी कसलें आमकां दिता बरें जावंका म्हणून आमी प्रार्थना करता आसा ती. आनी दिल नवें मागीर पळय तुज्या उलोवचें येता तशें न्ही. तुगेल प्रसाद रुपेण आमी घेता आसा ती. ताज्यान एक बरेपणां आपणालें मगल लोकांक गेलें आनी अंततो गत्वा तुज्यांतूच हांव लीन जाता म्हणून तशी एक आश्वासना वचन घेवन आमी तिगेल आराधन करता आसा ती. वी आर मेकिंग हर डिमांड्स. इजंट इट ब्युटिफुल? वी आर नॉट अपीलिंग टू द कूट, वी आर अपीलिंग टू द कूटस्था भुवनेश्वरी. देन वी कॅन डील विथ एवरीथिंग. सो अशें आमी एक आज विचार करून प्रस्तूत करुया म्हूण लेखलें, तुमकां सांगल्या. हाजेर विचार करात, विमर्श करात. जिवनांतू तें सौंदर्य प्रकट जातलें, लक्षण प्रकट जातलीं एक ऐश्वर्याचें. नाजल्यार एक कसलें आसल्यार एक कमी म्हूण दिसता. तें एक बरेंची हांव केल्लेलें एक सार्थक जाल्या, स्विकार्य आसा, गुरू प्रसन्न आसा ती, हें एक लक्षण जिवनांत येवंका. देन लायफ इज वर्थ लिविंग, इजंट इट? सो तशी let that sar of life, let us get that. We don't start off with what is the purpose of life, what is the meaning of life, or some inane question like that. That is why she is the Hridyaika Vedya. Every moment may I have that satisfaction, yes, I am doing this to the best of my ability and it is being accepted by the Guru, and because it is being accepted, it is prasad and it will do good not only to myself, to others also. That is the conviction we need. And that is the conviction we pray for. On behalf of all of you, whatever I have just spoken, may this become a reality in your lives. May you be ambassadors of this strength, of this grace, of this culture, of this Aishwarya. Gomte Gunkarati, Ajitlinda Varyamun Lekla, Aniyata Urati, Praveen Mambale, Durgesh Mambale, and Agra Shile. चातुर्मास हांगा केल्यार बरें आहे म्हणून कारलांतू. बिकॉज 2 वर्स जालीं, 2 वर्सां पेक्षा चड लोकांगेर संपर्क चिकेच कमी जालो. आमकांय आतां तूं मस्त लोकांक आयल्या कल उलोवंक म्हणून कळना, तशी एक परिस्थिती जाल्ली. सो चातुर्मासांक केल्यार बॉम्बे, पुणे थानू, बँगलोर थानू आनी खंय थानूय चिके लागीं जाता शिराली आमच्या पेक्षा. सो 2 म्हयन्यांतू चड लोकांक मेळचें साध्यतस म्हणून आमी गुरुचरणी प्रार्थना करून अशी एक निर्णय घेतलो की ह्या वर्साच्या चातुर्मास आमी कारलाच करतात. मुखावेल कार्यक्रम पळोवया. Praveen mom is very ambitious. नवरात्री आणि सुद्दाही हांगा जतकी पळया म्हणून ते आमी मागीर पळोवया. आतां मदेन पदेन त्यातच हांगा कितकी म्हयने जाले. जुनान परत येवचें 2 म्हयने चातुर्मास तुमकांच पुरोव जातलें. ओम नंदन्तु साधकाः सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्था शाम्भवीमेस्तु प्रसन्नोस्तु कुरु सदा. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्. ओम शांति शांति शांति.